It's a lovely day today, so whatever you've got to do, you got a lovely day to do it in, that's true. And I hope whatever you've got to do is something that can be done by two, for I'd really like to stay.
Welcome to Ask Aunt Ann. It's a lovely day here, and I hope it's a lovely day where you are. I don't know about you, but I love January because it's a time for new beginnings, a time to start fresh. So today we'll be giving you tips for organizing, healthy eating, and exercise. And our special guest is my Uncle Maury. He's an accountant and he'll be giving us some simple steps for making and keeping a budget. So stay tuned. Our first letter is from Karen DeAngelis in Elkhorn. Karen writes, Dear Aunt Ann, I really want to get my life organized this year, but I really don't know where to start, and I don't want to spend a lot of money. Can you help? Well, Karen, organizing your life is not a simple task. If you understand that before you get started, you won't get discouraged. So take little steps and eventually you'll get there. Here are a few suggestions. Organize for 15 minutes each day. This could mean anything from sorting mail to throwing out mystery foods in the refrigerator. Just 15 minutes a day can make a huge difference over time. Next, download a money management program like Quicken. It will make your financial life so much easier to manage. There is a small cost, about $50, but it's well worth the investment. With this program, you can pay bills, download transactions from banks and credit card accounts, plan, budget, and see what you're spending and what your overall financial picture looks like. Make a simple sorting system for your papers. It's as easy as separating them into 3 groups: to do, to read, and to file. That's all you need to keep everything in order. Then assign the 15 minutes I talked about earlier to sort your papers. Do this once or twice a week. Keep the papers in stackable filing shelves or upright files that you can thumb through. Many stores carry these, but if you want your desk to look beautiful, check out the items on the website cjanework.com. Another good tip is to keep a list of your passwords in a safe place, of course. Remembering passwords can be a real time waster. There are many ways to keep your passwords in a safe and secure place besides that list on the post-it near your computer. There are sites online that offer this service, and some computers will do it too. Find what works for you and spend a few hours recording all of your vital information. If it's stored online, you can access it from any place. Have a family information center, whether it's a bulletin board in your kitchen or a Google Calendar that everyone can refer to. It's important that a family shares plans and information, such as times, dates, phone numbers, and so on. Color coding can take things a step further if you're so inclined. Each family member can have their own color, which is extremely helpful for at-a-glance info. Organize your clothes closet. Some quiet afternoon, maybe if it's raining and no one else is at home, spend a few hours going through your clothes closet. Be honest with yourself about whether things fit properly, if the item is truly flattering, or whether you'll ever wear the garment again. If you have a friend you trust, try things on and get an honest opinion. Here's how to do it. Get a few large garbage bags and use one to place gently used clothing and accessories to donate to charity, and use another bag for throwing out things that are worn out or beyond repair. Now you will have a much more manageable closet, saving you time every day. Once you see the results, you'll want to do the same with other closets, drawers, or cabinets. Getting organized takes the patience, time, and ability to throw things away. Once you get started, you'll feel so much better. Next, I'd like to address your concern about spending money, Karen. Here are some suggestions for organizing your things that are low cost or free. Container lids. Who doesn't have a drawer or cabinet overflowing with containers and their lids? Next time you finish a cereal box, save it and cut the top and part of the side off, just like this. It works just a little like a magazine holder. If you want to make them look a little nicer, cover them in decorative paper. Cables and cords. How many times have you had to follow a cord from computer to outlet? Make your life easier by reusing plastic bag tags. Use a permanent marker to identify where the cord goes. This also works great for your TV area. Boots, especially this time of year. Take a pool noodle and cut it to fit inside the height of your boot. It will keep boots upright and much easier to manage. Under the sink. Install a tension rod and hang spray bottles and add baskets to store items underneath. Sunglasses or reading glasses. Use an old wooden hanger and hang your glasses like this. It keeps them where you can see them and the lenses don't get scratched. Ribbons. I love ribbons, but they're so hard to store. Here's a great fix. Get a plastic bin with holes. You can find them at most big box stores. Add 2 dowels to keep spools in place and poke the ribbon ends through the sides like this. Jewelry. You can purchase ice cube trays for $1 each at the dollar store. They're stackable and great for slipping into a drawer. I could go on and on. Just spend a few minutes on the internet and you'll find a quick, inexpensive fix for all of your organization problems. Our next viewer asks, Dear Aunt Ann, my New Year's resolution is to lose weight again. How can I really do it this time, Ann? Sherry Dans from Deerfield. Well, Sherry, you're not alone when it comes to that resolution. It's a hard one for most people. I consulted a friend who is a nutritionist, and she sent along a few tips you might want to try. First, don't try anything too drastic. You don't want to set yourself up for failure. Try doing something new each week, for instance. If you drink a soda or 2 every day, try cutting back gradually. Switch to 1 or 2 smaller cans a day, then cut back to every other day. Stay there, or keep going and remove them from your diet altogether. A good idea, since soda has a lot of sugar. Another thing you should do is not jump on the fad diet wagon. You may lose weight, but in most cases you'll find it again and more. So be sensible, eat healthy. Start by adding more vegetables and fruit to your daily meals, just like you may do with your kids. Add zucchini to that next pot of soup or meatloaf. Scrambled eggs are another good place to add some veggies. And my favorite is tomato sauce. Try pureed carrots or squash, peppers, onions, or greens. There are lots of dessert recipes that use vegetables too. One of the best pies I've ever eaten was made with pureed carrots. Not only do they provide all of that great nutrition, but fiber too. So you'll feel fuller with less and you'll stay full longer. Next, try to avoid processed food. Who needs all of that hidden salt, sugar, and chemicals? Make it yourself and you'll know exactly what's in it. And speaking of sugar, try to limit or remove sugar from your diet. I know that's not easy, especially when it's hidden as high fructose corn syrup, fruit juice concentrates, dextrose, and a number of other terms. You'll find that as you eliminate sugar from your diet, you'll crave less, and when you do have something, it will taste sweeter than before. Lastly, move. Do some exercise. Here are a few things you can do daily to sneak in more movement. Don't try to find the closest parking spot. Save those for families with young children and the elderly. Instead, park at the other end of the lot and walk to the store. Next, every time you catch yourself standing still for anything, move. You can dance around when you're heating up water for tea. You can do squats while waiting for your soup to heat in the microwave. You can jump up and down during a commercial break on TV. Touch your toes, jog in place, or dance. Do anything to get your body moving. And the best part? You're going to have way more fun than if you just stood still. You can tone your muscles at your desk. Simply squeeze and release. Here are a few other ideas for incorporating simple and quick exercises into your daily work routine. Do 60-second jumping jacks in your office. Simulate jumping rope for 60 seconds. Sit up straight in your office chair on the edge and resist the urge to sink back in. Do squats at the copying machine. Keep one small weight in a drawer and do arm lifts throughout the day. Always take the stairs. Forget email and instant messaging. Get up and go talk to the person. Use your computer to sound an alarm every hour to remind you to get up and move around. There's a great comprehensive list of desk exercises at WebMD. I'll have a link under tips on my website. Get an exercise ball. Sitting on an exercise ball at your desk, either at work or in your home office, is a great way to tone your abs. I've done it in the past and I love it. It also helps keep you more alert and awake during the day. Next, take up a new hobby that requires movement. Sign up for dancing lessons or karate. Go bird watching or start a garden. These are all fun hobbies that will sneak more activity into your day. If you want to lose weight, you need to add at least 12,000 steps to your day. Sounds like a lot, but break it down. Every hour, take a break and walk 100 steps. Pedometers can really help with this. Some phones can even track your steps throughout the day. Wow, lots to think about, but just remember to keep it simple and don't get discouraged if you slip up. Good luck, Sherry. I'm going to show you how to make a great low-calorie cookie. Only 63 calories in each one. Instead of using an oven, we use a waffle iron, and kids love these. Here's what you'll need. A half cup salted butter, 2/3 cup sugar, 2 large eggs, 1 teaspoon vanilla extract, 1 cup whole wheat pastry flour, 6 tablespoons cocoa powder, 2 tablespoons canola oil, a half teaspoon of espresso powder, which is optional, confectioner's sugar just for dusting. First, preheat a nonstick waffle iron. Don't use a Belgian waffle iron for these. Next, cream the butter and sugar in a medium bowl. Beat in the eggs and vanilla. Add flour, cocoa powder, oil, and espresso powder if you're using it. Beat until thoroughly combined. Next, drop the batter by rounded teaspoonsful, about an inch apart, on the preheated, ungreased waffle iron. To avoid burned fingers, I use 2 spoons, one to scoop and one to scrape the dough into the waffle iron. Close and cook until the cookies are puffed and cooked through, 1 to 1.5 minutes. Waffle irons vary, so watch closely and don't let the cookies get too dark. Transfer to a wire rack to cool. Dust the cookies with confectioner's sugar while they're still slightly warm. You can also use melted bittersweet or white chocolate to drizzle on top, or make a flavored drizzle with 1 cup confectioner's sugar, 4 teaspoons water, and 1/4 teaspoon extract, like peppermint or orange. Yum! And what a fun cookie and healthy treat, too. Here's our last letter. It's from Jim Marks from Marshall. Jim writes, "Dear Aunt Anne, my finances are a mess. I never seem to be able to save any money. Do you have any tips for becoming a little more financially savvy?" Well, Jim, I know the perfect person to help you. My Uncle Maury. He's a top-notch accountant. Hi, Uncle Maury. Thanks for stopping by to help out our viewer today.
Well, happy to do it, Ann. Now, this can be a complicated job to tackle, so most people are intimidated by it. but with a little practice, anybody can do a better job.
Well, where would you suggest Jim start?
Well, Ann, first place to start is with a budget. Now, don't change the channel. I know that can be a four-letter word to some people, but trust me, once you get the basics down, it won't be intimidating at all. When you have a budget in place, you'll be able to track your spending and saving effectively every month. Many banks offer budgeting services and expense tracking. Use those tools to build your budget. Since your expenses may differ from one month to another, it is better if you track the last 3 months to start. Once you have your net income amount for the month, write it down. Some people prefer a notebook, but I use an Excel spreadsheet that looks like this. As you can see, I have 3 columns, one for me, one for my wife, and a total. In our family, all the income is added to one pool, one bank account. You may differ, of course. Next, we tackle the expenses. This can require extra work, as sometimes it's hard to predict some of them. Be sure to include mortgage, rent, insurance, utilities, monthly savings, or any other amounts that you spend every month. Don't forget to add your monthly grocery as well, and other food expenses like restaurants. You can use your banking tool to know exactly how much you spend and in which area. And don't forget to budget in savings. That's where most people make a mistake. Savings should be a priority. It's a good idea to set up a separate savings account and put in a set percentage of your income every month. Once you have covered your monthly fixed expenses, make a list of all the incidental expenses, such as gifts, clothing, supplies, as well as auto maintenance. Now total those up and subtract from the income you have left after you pay your regular monthly bills. If you run out of cash during this process, you will have to take another look at your incidentals and reduce the amount allocated under each category, or do away with 1 or 2 categories of incidental expenses in your list. Even if you don't have car maintenance or clothes to buy every month, I include them in my monthly budget. This money is set aside in a separate bank account, so when I need it, I have the money already. Once your budget is built, written and stored, you need to stick to it. In my opinion, that's the hardest part. Temptations everywhere, and learning how to stick to your budget is a work in progress. Here are some general tips on how to stick your budget in each category. Number 1, rent and mortgage. Other than moving, you don't have much control over your rent, but if you have a mortgage payment, you can have some latitude. If your mortgage is $733 per month, round it up to $735 or $750 a month. You will pay your mortgage faster and pay less interest. Check with your financial institution. You may be able to make biweekly payments. Doing this will also pay off your loan quicker. Number 2, insurance. A few months before the renewal date, start shopping around for a better rate. You can also choose a higher deductible. Remember that savings account I mentioned before for auto repairs and such? Well, put your savings in there and you'll have an extra deductible if you need it. Number 3, phone, internet, and utilities. Watch your consumption. Know your data limits, for example, and don't go over. Make changes in your habits so you use less electricity or water. Most utilities have a great information on their websites that will help you do this. Number 4, pay your bills with cash. I cannot emphasize how much this will help you stick to your budget. Many companies offer credit card payments, and this is great if you are disciplined enough to pay your statement in full each month. If you aren't, use cash, check, or a debit card. Number 5, monthly savings. As I stated before, set up a separate account and don't get a debit card for it. That makes it much harder to spend that money. You will be amazed how quickly that account will grow. Food, takeout, miscellaneous, and clothing can sometimes be hard to manage. Again, I think a third bank account is the best bet, but that may be a little too much work for some. Although these days you can access all those accounts online, so transferring is easy. I know it takes a lot of discipline, but this is what it takes to stick to your budget and to build an emergency fund. Something no one should be without these days. Your goal should be a fund that should be 6 to 9 months of expenses. So sticking to your budget is really important to save those funds. This is an ongoing process, of course. If you notice that you didn't budget one expense appropriately, change your budget. The more you do it, the better and easier it will get. So, Ann, do you think that will help your viewer?
That was great information, Uncle Maury. Even I learned a few things.
Well, I'm glad that I could help out.
Well, I just made some boot track cookies. I know those are your favorite. So while I get them packed up, would you like to entertain our viewers with a song?
Well, I'd be happy to. I have just the right number in mind. They call you Lady Luck, but there is room for doubt. At times you have a very unladylike way of running out. You're on a date with me, the pickings have been lush, and yet before this evening is over you might give me the brush. You might forget your manners, you might refuse to stay, and so the best that I can do is pray. Yeah. Luck, be a lady tonight. Luck, be a lady tonight. Luck, if you've ever been a lady to begin with. Luck, be a lady tonight. Luck, let a gentleman see just how nice a dame you can be. I've seen the way you've treated other guys you've been with. Luck, be a lady with me. A lady doesn't leave her escort. It isn't fair and it's not nice. A lady doesn't wander all over the room and blow on some other guy's dice. So let's keep this party polite. Never get out of my sight. Stick with me, baby, I'm the fella you came in with. Luck, be a lady tonight. Luck, be a lady tonight. Luck, be a lady tonight. Luck, if you've ever been a lady to begin with. Luck, be a lady tonight. Lady wouldn't flirt with strangers. She'd have a heart, she'd have a soul. A lady wouldn't make little snake eyes at me when I've got my life on this roll. So let's keep this party polite. Never get out of my sight. Stick with me, baby, I'm the fellow you came in with. Luck, be a lady. Luck, be a lady. luck be a lady tonight.
Uncle Maury, that was wonderful. Thanks so much. Well, where has the time gone? We sure went over a lot of information today. Remember, we will have all of this info on our website, and you can watch this and earlier episodes there too. Now here's a lovely poem that's perfect for inspiring us to make changes. It's called 360, and it was written by Adrian Venner. Another year has come to pass, withered away like fields of grass. Upon this time we often reflect on good, bad, and things we neglect. A year will end, another begin, and change it will bring. Have you also changed within? Let's listen to a wisdom so old. Change yourself and change the world. Thank you for watching and spending some of your day with us. I'll be back next month with a show that celebrates St. Patrick's Day. Please stop by for a visit.
It's a lovely day today, so whatever you've got to do, you got a lovely day to do it in, that's true. And I hope whatever you've got to do is something that can be done by two, for I'd really like to stay. It's a lovely day today, and whatever you've got to do, I'd be so happy to be doing it with you. But if you've got something that must be done, and it can only be done by one, there is nothing more to say, except it's a lovely day for saying it's a lovely day.